Buongiorno tutti and welcome to your supplemental video for our Napoli lesson, that is Naples. This was the food unit, but for our supplemental, I'm mostly going to focus on our magic anti-grammar verb system, aka dinosaur sentences, and do a more in-depth review of the song of the week since the internet wouldn't let us do that in class. So let's get into it. Ma prima, but first, I want you to take a look at these sentences, especially the highlighted verb forms, and see if you can find a pattern. We started way back in our first week with questions like di dove sei and answers like sono di. And then we went on to structures such as a Napoli c'è una torre e ci sono ristoranti. And then in Cinque Terre, when we were learning directions, we learned how to say siamo persi. So we have di dove sei, of where are you, sono di, I am of, a Napoli c'è una torre, in Napoli there is a tower, e ci sono, and there are ristoranti, there are restaurants. And finally, siamo persi, we are lost. So, putting it all together, you've learned almost all of a complete verb conjugation, a really important one, essere, to be. So that looks like io sono, tu sei, lui or lei è, noi siamo, voi siete, loro sono. So we have I am, you are, he or she is, we are, y'all are. This is the second plural, y'all. And then loro sono, they are. So this io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro, those are subject pronouns. And sono, sei, è, siamo, siete, sono are our present tense forms of the verb essere, making a complete conjugation in the present tense. So congratulations, you learned almost all of that. We didn't really get into siete, but we got everything else without even realizing that that's what we were doing. So you don't have to memorize this from scratch. You've absorbed it through meaningful structures. So this is also a really good review for verbs in general, so that you know how to navigate our system and avoid having to do too much memorization. But congratulations, you now know essere, to be, which is a good model for what we're about to do. Now that you know how to conjugate essere, I'm going to teach you how to use verbs without conjugating them. And I call this the dinosaur sentence method. And this is a lot of fun. So you've probably seen these kinds of books where you create a new animal or a new dinosaur or whatever by flipping through the different sections to create a new head, middle, and tail. You see that it's spiral bound and each of these flip independently. So you can mix and match to make all these fantastical creatures. And you can do the same thing with your Italian. I'll show you what that looks like because we've already done that a little bit. So if you remember mi piace, we have mi piace mangiare, I like to eat, or non mi piace lavare I piatti, I don't like to wash the dishes. So you learned how to use mi piace and to ask each other ti piace with all kinds of words because you only have to look up the infinitive of the verb, mangiare, to eat, lavare, to wash. And you can use that mi piace, ti piace, non mi piace structure with whatever verb you like, just looking up the dictionary form. Well, our dinosaur sentences are going to be the same. You're going to learn a few different structures you can put in front of an infinitive to express a lot of different things. What we're going to use for these is really simple. They're called modal verbs. You don't need to know that term, but that's what they are. And we're just going to learn 4 of them unless you also want to use the we forms, which we'll get into. And those forms are vorrei, which is I would like, or voglio, I want. You can use these interchangeably, but I teach both vorrei and voglio. Posso, I'm able to or I can, posso, and devo, I have to or I need to. And we'll break these down individually. But you see, there's not a lot to memorize. What you're going to use these with are those infinitives, just like we did with mi piace, ti piace. And to a reminder, the infinitive is the dictionary form of a verb. So if you look up a verb, this is what you're going to find. Italian infinitives tend to look like this. They're all one word, unlike English, where we have to and then the base form of the verb, to have, to go, to do, whatever. Italian infinitives, like Spanish, like French, like Latin, are all one word, and they tend to end in ere, are, or ire. Excuse me. So they're all one word. Not all of them are going to look exactly like this, but the vast majority of them are. So you already have some infinitives from talking about activities you like. Here are a few more. We have avere, to have, andare, to go, fare is to do or make, and it's used in a lot of idiomatic expressions, meaning expressions that don't translate literally. You might recognize this from your high school French as faire, as in savoir faire. We have parlare, to speak. Everybody's favorite, mangiare, to eat. Comprare, to buy, like compensate. Vedere, to see, like video. Prendere, to take. And so this is, you can prendere the bus, you can prendere a candy from the jar, and like the Brits who prendere their tea, Italians tend to prendere their coffee, but they can certainly bere or drink their coffee as well. So prendere is a real versatile one. Partire, to leave. Think of depart. Um, you leave a place, but you don't leave your coat. That would be a different verb. So think of, you wouldn't depart your coat, but you would depart the party, right? Or you would depart the country. Partire, to leave a place. Um, so these are some example infinitives, but the good news is that you can just look them up in the dictionary, look them up on your phone, and this will be the form you need without having to do any conjugation. So it's ready to go right out of the gate. So let's put these together and make our little flippo sentences, our dinosaur sentences. We'll start with vorrei and dig a little deeper into that. Vorrei, and with the double R, you want to roll that R if you can. Vorrei is I would like, or the polite form of I want. And you can attach an infinitive to ask to do something, or you can actually use this with nouns to ask for something. So for example, we have vorrei andare al museo. Oops, sorry, this should be al museo. I would like to go to the museum. So you use an infinitive, andare, to go. Or you can say vorrei il vino rosso, per favore. I would like the red wine, please. So vorrei is what you're going to use at the restaurant, at the cafe, and you just say vorrei and then whatever it is that you would like. So this one is especially useful because we can use it with nouns as well as with our verb form. And in practice, that might look something like this. Vorresti is the to form. Would you like? Vorresti visitare l'Italia? Would you like to visit Italy? Sì, vorrei visitare l'Italia. Yes, I would like to visit Italy. Or, if you've lost your mind, no, non vorrei visitare l'Italia. No, I would not like to visit Italy. So notice, regardless of whether we're negating vorrei or using the to form vorresti, visitare doesn't change. It stays the dictionary form, just like you saw with mi piace, ti piace, non mi piace. And the same is going to go for the rest of the modal verbs. We have voglio, which is I want. Now, you can use this like vorrei, but it's a little bit more abrupt. So it is exactly the equivalent of I want versus I would like in English because it's the same grammatical forms. Voglio is a present indicative. Vorrei is technically a conditional. Now, you don't need to know those grammar forms, but if that sparks a memory of learning these, that's great. It's just the difference between I want and I would like, but it's the same root verb. So you can use them both, but vorrei really comes in handy because it does have that slightly more polite sound. But the grammar is exactly the same. Voglio partire. I want to leave. Or voglio una grande pizza. I want a large pizza. So you can slap a noun on the end or our trusty infinitive. Next, we have posso. I can. And you would attach an infinitive to express that you're able to do something. You can use tone of voice to ask if you're able to do something. So a statement might look like, posso prendere il treno. I can take the train. Literally, I am able to take the train. But with the right tone of voice, you can say, posso prendere il treno? Posso prendere il treno? Can I take the train? And you don't have to change the grammar. Once again, we have our posso, our verb is conjugated, put an infinitive, and then whatever else you need to do. Easy peasy. Finally, we have devo. I have to, I need to. And just like vorrei or voglio and posso, devo is going to be exactly the same. Devo prendere il treno. I have or I need to take the train. But you can ask a question. Devo prendere il treno? Do I have to take the train? Same thing. Devo, and then the infinitive and whatever else you need. Note, though, that devo doesn't work for needing things. If you say, I need a break, I need something to eat, you would have to use a different structure. So this doesn't really apply the same way that you can use vorrei or voglio with nouns. So unfortunately, that one will have to wait. But we have devo, prendere il treno. It's going to work with any verb that you need to use. All right. So to sum up, just like we have mi piace, we have vorrei, voglio, posso, or devo. All of these are conjugated verbs, and you follow them with an infinitive. So with these structures, you can attach infinitives to navigate almost any situation. So let's look at a few more infinitives. Or whoops, I mixed that up. Sorry. Let's put it all together. So our devo, posso, vorrei, or voglio, or mi piace, that's your dinosaur head. The middle is all of those infinitives, those unconjugated verbs ending in are, ire, or ere. This is quite a list. It's any verb that you want. And then the tail of your dinosaur sentence is maybe the object of the sentence, the location, so what you need to do, what you want to eat, or where you want to go. And of course, not all dinosaur sentences even need a tail. You can say, voglio andare, I want to go, and you've just got a head and a middle, and you don't need a tail, but you could say, voglio andare all'aeroporto, I want to go to the airport, and to the airport is your tail. So our sentences are pretty limited at the head. You just have these forms that you need to know. And then everything else is really interchangeable. You can use any infinitive, and of course the tails can be just about anything. I really like this system because memorizing how to conjugate verbs in the present tense is a lot more memorization, but it's a lot less functional as a traveler because you're always asking, can I do this? Or I would like to buy this, or what are my options for this and that. So it's extremely versatile. I also like it because, as I said in class, in 6 weeks, we can't really learn um, so much Italian that you can get around without relying on a dictionary, cheat sheets, looking things up. But if you have your dinosaur sentences, if you have your devo, posso, vorrei, or voglio, and mi piace, if you've memorized these by heart, you just have these to memorize, then you can look up the infinitive really, really fast, and it will streamline and speed up your ability to use, say, an online translator or a dictionary or your vocabulary list to communicate in real time. And that can be really, really helpful when you are interacting with people in Italy. Speeds up the process and gives you a lot more confidence in what you're saying. So. We also have additional options for the we or noi form. So noi is we. You might be traveling with other people. So instead of devo, I have to, you could say dobbiamo. Dobbiamo, we have to. And then we have possiamo. Possiamo, we can or can we? And then I love this word, vorremmo. Vorremmo. And then vogliamo is the indicative form. So vorremmo, we would like, vogliamo, we want. And then if you want to express that you enjoy something, multiple people, ci piace, we like. So piace is not going to change. And of course, the rest aren't going to change. The whatever infinitive you use is going to stay in the infinitive and nothing's going to change in the tail. So you can just trade out your dinosaur head to ask the same thing. Now, to illustrate that a little better, I've got a couple examples. So the first word of the head is sentence is going to change if you want to say we instead of I. So, devo comprare un biglietto. I need to buy a ticket versus dobbiamo comprare un biglietto. We need to buy a ticket. So you see, you change out the dinosaur head depending on whether you're saying I or we, but comprare un biglietto doesn't change. That's the beauty of this system is that generally speaking, when you've got two verbs in Italian that go together, the second one is going to stay in the infinitive. And that's really, really convenient because that's the dictionary form. You don't have to do a lot of memorizing different forms. You can make yourself a short list of infinitives that you know you're going to use quite a bit and just have that on a card or paper, and then be making your dinosaur sentences in real time to really communicate in a functional way. But for those of you who are doing the wild woman or the insanity workout, I do have some regular verbs in are. And when I say regular verbs, I mean verbs that fit a regular pattern. So some verbs have their own pattern, and those are irregular. They follow their own little pattern, and those tend to be the extremely common ones. Essere, to be, avere, to have, but we also have regular verbs that all share a pattern. So regular verbs in are, meaning that they're verbs that end in are, like mangiare, parlare, comprare, and they all share a conjugation. What you do is you take off that are and you change it to the ending. So we take are off and we're left with what's called the stem. In Italian, they call that the radica, the root, like radish. And it looks like this. Io parlo, tu parli, lui, lei parla, noi parliamo, voi parlate, loro parlano. So any of your regular verbs in are, you're going to use these endings in red on the stem. And this is the present tense. So io parlo, I talk, or I am talking. This can be used for something that's happening right now. Hey, what are you doing? I'm eating. Mangio. What's up? Mangio. I'll call you back. Or it can be used as a regular present for habitual actions. Um, Parlo italiano in classe. I speak Italian in class. Or compro la spesa, so I buy my groceries di venerdì on Fridays. So, um, this is, it can be pretty useful if you really want to get into your Italian. I'm just glossing over this system, and there are lots of videos and resources, and especially in your books, that will dive into this more. So feel free to check this out and explore this more if you are on the Wild Woman or the Insanity Workout. Um, but for the rest of us, I say, pick out your dinosaur heads, whether you want to learn all the I and we forms, if you want to learn vorrei and voglio, just memorize those and get really comfortable changing those out with those infinitives and tacking those tails on the end. And we'll be doing more activities for that next week. I have another bonus, which is reviewing piacersi. So far we've used mi piace, ti piace to express things we like to do. Piacersi is the infinitive form of this verb, and you notice that it has si at the end. Some Italian verbs, the dictionary form, will have that. It just means it's reflexive or it takes an object. Don't worry about that for now. That's not something that's important for our purposes. What you do want to do is notice that if you see something like this, just know that it's a verb infinitive. So let's talk about things we like, not just verbs, but nouns, things that we enjoy. So it's going to be the same structure. Mi piace il formaggio. I like cheese. Mi piace l'italiano. I like Italian. Mi piace la pizza. I like pizza. So for anything singular, you're going to use mi piace just like you used with those verb infinitives. Mi piace mangiare. Mi piace la pizza. I like to eat. I like the pizza. Easy peasy. The twist is if you like a plural thing, you would change that to piacciono. For example, mi piacciono I cani. I like dogs, plural. Mi piacciono le scarpe. I like shoes, plural. So piace, singular, piacciono, plural, but the mi doesn't change. Nothing else is going to change. I can say, ti piacciono I cani? Do you like dogs? And you can say, sì, mi piacciono I cani, or no, non mi piacciono I cani. All right. Remember that those two things, piace, piacciono with nouns, and regular verb conjugations, that's bonus. That's not something that you need to do for our baseline. But moving on, let's talk about La Canzone della Settimana, the song of the week. And boy, I was so excited to play this one in class. First, it has some dinosaur structures in it. That's great. It's got a lot of structures that we have been using, so I really hit the jackpot there. And it's a little more of a ballad. It's slow. Which is always great. It's really hard, even if you know every word, to follow a faster song. So I'm really excited to share it with you here. And what I'm gonna do is share the lyrics with you here. All right. So we have che cosa c'è? And we already know this right off the bat. Che cosa c'è is what is it or what's there. It doesn't translate literally because literally it would be che cosa, what, c'è is there, is it? And we say that in English, what is it? Meaning, what's the matter? So we've got che cosa c'è? What's the matter? What's up? What's going on? So the singer asks, what's the matter? Well, I'm going to tell you. C'è che mi sono innamorato di te. It is, the thing is that I'm in love with you. Uh, in Italian, you use the verb to be. I am enamored of someone. So innamorato di te. The feminine would be innamorata. So that's what's up. Okay. What else is going on? C'è che ora non mi importa niente. Oh, this guy's got it bad. The matter is that now, ora, non mi importa niente. Nothing matters to me. To me, nothing is important. Di tutta l'altra gente, of all the other people. Di tutta quella gente che non sei tu, of all the people who are not you. Oh my goodness. All right. So this guy's got it bad. But this is so wonderful because we've got all our essere, we've got che cosa c'è, mi sono innamorato di te. So we've got sono, I am. We've got che non sei tu, our you form of essere. So too bad for him, but great for us that we've got all these examples of our verbs. What is it? Well, the issue is that what's going on is I'm in love with you, and now I can't care about anyone who isn't you. Then we keep going. Che cosa c'è? What is it? What's the matter? C'è che mi sono innamorato di te. Right? We repeat, the matter is that I'm in love with you. C'è che ti voglio tanto bene. Right? So here we have voglio, I want. So c'è che ti voglio, what does he want? You. Ti voglio. And how much does he voglio? Tanto bene. Really well. Now, this is an idiomatic expression. Ti voglio bene or ti voglio tanto bene, so much, is just, it doesn't translate literally to I want you so much, but I love you so much. And you can actually say this, it's not necessarily just romantic. You can say to your mom, ti voglio bene. So it's not necessarily romantic, it's just a general I love you. But he loves you tanto bene, so much. And how much does he love you? Che il mondo mi appartiene, il mondo mio, che è fatto solo di te. So much that il mondo, the world, mi appartiene, it comprises of or belongs. Il mondo mio, the world of mine, che è fatto solo di te. That is fatto, it's made. This is a participle of that verb fare. It's made, what of? Solo di te, only of you. Next, come ti amo. Well, my goodness, here we have our old friend come. How? Ti amo. Oh, how I love you. Come ti amo. Non posso spiegarti. Well, look at that. We've got a dinosaur sentence. So we've got posso, I can. Non posso, I cannot. And what can't he do? Spiegarti. So you may notice spiegar looks like it's going to be a verb, and then it's got that T tacked on the end. That spiegare is to explain, and here it's attaching T, you. I can't explain to you. Don't worry about that so much. Just recognize the structure. So, non posso spiegarti. I can't explain to you. Non so cosa sento per te. So is I know. Non so, I don't know. Cosa sento per te. What I feel for you. Sento is I feel or I hear. Ma, however, se tu mi guardi, if you look at me, negli occhi, in the eyes, un momento, one moment, lo puoi capire anche da te. Puoi is the to form of posso. So, puoi capire, you can understand. What can you understand? Lo, it, anche da te, also from you. So, oh, how I love you. I can't explain it to you. I don't understand. I don't know what I feel for you. But if you look me in the eyes for a moment, you can understand it on your own. And then we have a repetition, which is great for learning. Che cosa c'è? What is it? C'è che mi sono innamorato di te. It's that I'm in love with you. C'è che io ora vivo bene. It is that I now live well. Vivo, I live well. Se, if, solo stiamo insieme. If only stiamo insieme. Stiamo is we stay. So, and where do we stay? Insieme, together. Se solo ti ho vicino. Vicino, we remember we had that as well, near. If only I have you near. Ecco che c'è. So ecco is a little difficult to translate. You'll notice the ecce homo from Latin, behold the man. But in modern Italian, ecco, which comes straight from that Latin, it's got that sense of, hey, look at this, or for example, people playing soccer saying, I'm open, ecco me, here I am, look at me. So it's a way of drawing attention more than it's something I can translate literally. So when he says ecco che c'è, like here it is, it's meaning, hey, it's plain as day. Ecco che c'è. Here it is. All right, so let's go real quick. Che cosa c'è? What is it? Che c'è mi sono innamorato di te. It's that I am enamored of you. Che ora non mi importa niente. It's that now nothing is important to me. Di tutta l'altra gente. Di tutta quella gente che non sei tu. From all the other people, all the people who are not you. Che cosa c'è? What is it? C'è che mi sono innamorato di te. It's that I'm in love with you. C'è che ti voglio tanto bene. It's that I want you so much. I love you so well. Che il mondo mi appartiene. Il mondo mio che è fatto solo di te. It's that the whole world is a part of, to me, or it belongs to me, the world of mine that is made only of you. Come ti amo. How I love you. Amo is more romantic. Ti amo. I love you. Non posso spiegarti. I can't explain it to you. Non so cosa sento per te. I don't know what I feel for you. Ma se tu mi guardi negli occhi un momento, but if you look me in the eyes one moment, lo puoi capire anche da te. You can understand it on your own, by yourself. Che cosa c'è? What is it? What's the matter? C'è che mi sono innamorato di te. It's that I'm in love with you. C'è che io ora vivo bene. It's that now I live well. Se solo stiamo insieme. If we are only together, or only if we're together. Se solo ti ho vicino. Only if I have you near me. Ecco che c'è. That's what's up. It's obvious. This is what's the matter. Plain as day. Now, the reason I go over that a little quickly is actually it can help your comprehension. If you go way too slow, it's like riding a bicycle. If you go real slow, you fall over. So we start slow, word by word, picking it apart, and then we go a little faster. So what I recommend, and I'm going to send you this link, is keep reading it, get real comfortable with it, and then just follow the procedure we've done with the prior two songs. Let's see, I'm going to share the vocabulary with you. Go on, share. Hey, there we go. So just reviewing that vocabulary as it is, we've got, I've listed it by our verbs first. So we've got mi importa. So importa is it's important. Something is important or it matters. Me importa, it matters to me. This is a contraction of mi importa. Appartiene is kind of interesting. Appartiene is like comprises or is part of. It becomes a part of. And in this sense, it's paired with il mondo becoming, or I'm sorry, uh, belongs to. It's a part of. Then we have fatto. Fatto is the participle of fare, made. So fatto. If you are shopping for clothes or knickknacks, you might see fatto a mano, made by hand. So here we have some first person verbs. Amo, I love. Sento, I feel. This also means I hear. Vivo, I live. And so you notice that we have that with sono, mi chiamo. We have that with our other verbs, that o ending. Voglio, posso, devo. In the present tense, we have that o ending is almost always going to be I. Now we move to tu, you. Guardi, you look. Puoi, you can. So think about sei, ti chiami, and our other verbs that we've done, if it ends in E, like this E vowel, in the present tense, that's usually a tu form, you. So it would be guardo, I look, guardi, you look. Posso, I can, puoi, you can. Then we have a we form. We have one we form, a noi form in the whole song. Stiamo. Stiamo is we stay. And this is actually a form of sto and stai, as in come stai, sto bene. The verb stare, to stay, is very odd to translate in Italian. It's when we say come stai, how do you stay? It's like asking, what's your state of being? But it can also mean stay, as in here it's let's stay together, literally. So now you know sto, stai, and stiamo. You got three forms of stare there. And then we have our old friend, the infinitives. We have capire, capire to understand. Think capisci. That's a form of capire. And then spiegare, spiegare to explain. Moving on to our adjectives, we have innamorato or innamorata is to be enamored of or in love. So the masculine would be innamorato, feminine innamorata. Altro or altra is other, and that's also an adjective. So masculine altro, feminine altra. And then we have quello, quella, that, masculine, feminine. Quello and quella can be a little complex, but you can recognize it pretty easily. So we've got quello and quella. Solo is only. Insieme, together. Insieme. Tanto is so much. Tanto. So you can actually, it's like it's one up from molto. So molto bene, really well. Tanto bene, so well. And then we have niente, nothing. Niente. La gente. La gente is people. Gli occhi. Gli occhi. That can be a little difficult. Remember, it's that gli in million. Gli occhi. This is the eyes. In the song, we have negli occhi, in the eye. Il mondo. Il mondo, the world. And finally, we have that oddity, ecco, there it is. Or behold, or look at that. So that's what I've got for you today. Just keep working on these songs. Let me know if you have any questions and stay tuned for our vocabulary videos. Ciao!